Hello, Dahlia! We are live out here today at Swan Island Dahlias in Canby. It's hard to believe it's been a year since I've been joined by Heather out here in the field. I am so happy to be out here because it's beautiful, it's awesome. Couldn't ask for better weather.
I know, dream weather.
I know, and it's just perfect, bright blue skies, few clouds for some drama, and then just an amazing crop this year as always. Heather, thanks for having us again.
Thanks for coming out.
Now, last year, you may remember, we came out here, talked about some of the flowers, showed the fields, and we're going to show you the fields again. We're going to show you some new kinds that they've cultivated, and possibly even give you guys a chance to name something. But we're also going to learn one of the things that they do here, because in addition to seeing all the flowers, you guys do a lot of lessons at the festival. You give people a chance to learn how to do it themselves.
We do. I like to give people extra information to go home with to play with their dahlias in their yard. So we talk about hot water treatment, which is one of the most unique things about cut dahlias. That they don't go in cold water, they need to go in hot water. So that's something we do here at the farm.
I learned something new right there. I did not know that. I've been doing it wrong.
So I'll cover it briefly. All dahlias, once they're cut, need to go in 160 to 170 degree water, 2 to 3 inches deep.
So they're picky.
They're picky.
So that they know.
Yep. And you want to make sure it's not boiling. Boiling's 212.
That would be bad.
It would cook them. It would be like asparagus. They would be cooked. They would be wimpy stems. So leave them in that water for about a minimum of an hour. We'd like it to get back to room temperature.
Okay.
So 2 to 3 inches deep. Make sure your stems are long enough that the flower heads are out of the steam. And you can use plastic or metal containers. Don't use glass like this. It doesn't hold the heat long enough and it cools. And then once that's done, they're ready to go. They go in cold water from there on out. You can cut off the bottom, and you can kind of see on some of these a little easier. You can see the burn mark. So it's
yeah, right there. You got a straight line right there.
It's left a watermark, but that can be cut off or left on. Doesn't matter. It goes in cold water.
Yeah, it's in the vase anyway. Who cares?
Yep, exactly.
It's all this pretty. It's all this pretty part that everybody's got. Yeah, right.
So that's really important about dahlias. So that's something we'll talk about more at the festival. And we do a lot of floral arranging information, all different things, so that people can learn to do their own floral arrangements. I try and give a lot of hints and help people along the way.
And that's actually what we're going to do today. Is I am going to learn how to make a good flower arrangement. This is, you know, I don't know if it's gender or genetics or just plain me being clueless. Never been really good at this. So Heather promised me that she can help me create a nice, good-looking arrangement that would make anybody happy. So if you guys are watching, dudes, learn how to do this. Make your wives happy, impress them. You'll get probably like 3 football games out of the deal without being,
right.
Getting what you want. So first off, what is like the number one key thing for making a good flower arrangement?
Keeping your leaves out of the water.
Okay.
That will make your flower arrangement last longer in general, because the leaves are what create the bacteria, which ends up killing the flowers.
Stupid leaves. Okay.
Second of all, the most important thing and easiest thing I've learned is that you want to actually make a beautiful, if you're using such like a mason jar, a vase of some type.
That's a real common vase right now. People are really liking that style, so.
Is that you want to build a greenery arrangement first.
Okay.
So you need to go out to your yard or your neighbor's yard if they'll let you and see who in
Dude, what are you doing out there?
Has beautiful greenery growing in their yard. And if you just strip the leaves off the bottom, you're going to make what I say just a beautiful greenery arrangement. And you could use all kinds of things, laurel hedges, anything, crocosmia leaves, anything you can come up with in your yard. This is Oregonia.
What are those leaves again?
Crocosmia?
How do you spell that? No, don't spell it.
Don't spell it, I won't worry. So in this, we just build really, what you're doing is creating a base for the flowers. Otherwise, if I stuck the flowers in, they're just gonna fall to the outside.
Okay.
And if I take and build a little bit of greens first, these are salal leaves, kind of like your laurel hedges. They grow in our coastal climate, but they just add a little bit of texture, but they really are adding a base to go ahead and put your stems in when you're at that point. So once we've got a little bit of greens,
I like that because I mean we've got 2 different types. You've got some diversity there already, so it's gonna just a good accent piece.
Yeah, and I like to go out to my yard and glean. I mean, I grow a lot of perennials. You can mix anything with dahlias, roses, lilies.
I got a ton of dandelions.
There you go. You can make them look beautiful.
Maybe I can make them arrangement, make my homeowners association happy at the same time. Hey, he finally cleared them.
Yes.
All right.
So these are glads, which we grow a little bit because we love them with the dahlias because they're nice linear spike. But if you stick that in, it's going to stand right where you want it to instead of falling to the outside because you've given it a base of greens.
All right.
So first thing would be to start with your tallest kind of points. Create some boundaries here.
Okay.
So in this case, the glads give us that long linear spike. You could use anything. We grow a little annual up and down our driveway, which is called Victoria Blue Salvia, and it's just this purple blue
Oh, wow.
And it's absolutely gorgeous because it's a color we don't get in dahlias.
So it gives you some contrast in what the feature of the arrangement's going to be.
And I also pulled up some sedum, which we'll add back in from my yard just to give another texture.
Okay.
But now it's time, we've got our base, we're ready. We can just start sticking the dahlias in. And we're gonna, most of the time the buds are not where you want them, so we're gonna be taking those off. You can always add them back in.
Okay.
Or if a bud is in the right place, you can just leave it on. It won't hurt it at all.
All right, so let me try one of these. So I should cut this. I got something pointy. That's not good. So how much of this should I take off then? Just like right up about here?
Yep, go to there if you want.
Okay, and then you're supposed to cut it at an angle? Is that
Angle's
help?
best.
Okay.
It just makes it easier to go in.
Okay, so...
I'd probably go ahead and cut this off because that's going to be a little bulky trying to get it in. You can leave that long bud if you want and then stick it on that side. And it's a little challenge, just kind of wiggle your way in.
And that's the thing, is like I'm always afraid of breaking something.
No, don't be afraid. So it can go, just make sure you're in the water so that you're not...
Oh, that's true. It does want to drink. Okay.
Yes.
So like there again?
Yep.
Okay.
And you can actually go, I'd maybe even go shorter this time and maybe bring it down a little lower.
Okay.
I love to use a couple different varieties.
Should I cut these guys?
Yep, I'd cut those guys off.
I figured it out. I'm learning.
You're doing great.
Kinda.
By using different varieties, you end up adding texture. They could all be monochromatic, one color, but by adding different styles or different sizes, you've changed up the texture and it makes it really nice to work with.
Maybe he should face out.
There, yeah.
There we go. All right, cool.
So that's just a basic.
We got to start here.
Put those greens in first.
Yeah.
It's gonna just make your life so much better.
And it does. I just noticed that because sometimes I like put flowers and it's bleh, you know, they just fall. So the greens help.
That's a quick, easy hint that I learned early on, and it makes it so nice.
So what's this guy?
That little guy is called Cutie Patootie.
Never have we had a more appropriate name for a flower. I love it.
And so you're doing perfect. You're cleaning off those greens, which is what, like we said, kills the bacteria, would kill the flowers quicker than anything. And by adding those in, without the leaves, you're helping reduce the amount of bacteria in the base. So, doing great.
So we'll do.
You can come down short. You can come down really short.
Go short? Okay, we'll
go above there.
Oh, even go above that? Okay.
Yep. Come down nice and low.
Hey, bee, not yet. We're not done.
The honeybees are loving us.
Yeah, they're getting a little anxious.
And I always say, don't be afraid to mix flowers. It doesn't have to be all pinks and purples. I just did rodeo flowers for the Clackamas County Fair yesterday, and they're red and purple. Wild and crazy. Probably most commonly people wouldn't think about that. And yet they're gorgeous. It's flowers. Don't be afraid to mix colors.
I like that. No rules in flowers. I like that. Okay. Because flowers are just supposed to be pretty and fun, so why have rules? Rules make things boring.
Right, exactly.
Okay, let's not get my finger on camera. That would be hilarious. We'd probably end up on YouTube, but let's not do that.
Let's not hurt you today.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
This is another product that we've really learned to love, and they are water beads, and they start out as these little tiny little pebbles, and you can reuse them. They grow up, these aren't fully done, but they grow up to like a marble size.
Okay.
And they add color. So like in dahlias, we don't get blue or teal. You could add blue or teal to these beads to your water. Yeah. And for a wedding or event or a certain color you're looking for, you can add those to the bottom of the vase. And they also will help hold the stems up a little, but they'll also add a lot of color. So they are really fun.
And you guys sell these here too, right?
We do.
So,
and you can dry these out once you're done with them, wash them off, lay them on a cookie sheet, let them dry back out, and they'll turn just back to how they started. You can reuse them over and over.
Very cool. And again, so like anything that people need to be able to take some of these dahlias home and do this arrangement, you guys have here.
We do.
All right. So you can get your own arrangements here. Now, the festival starts next weekend. But you guys are already open to the public, so people can come ahead of time if they can't make it out for the festival. Want to get a sneak peek or just get some flowers and bring them home ahead of time, right?
Definitely. We're open 7 days a week. Fields are open 8 to 6. Gift shop and office are open 9 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, or 10 to 3 on the weekends.
Now we've got a couple different varieties of dahlias here, but and as Molly kind of shows around the fields, you'll see there are just an insane number of different types of flowers. How many different dahlias do you have growing here in the fields?
About 370 that are actually named and we're selling.
Okay. Now some of these you guys have created yourselves.
We introduce about 10 every year.
Wow.
So it's about a 5-year process, 4 to 5 year process that it takes them, that we watch them create watch the creation and make sure that they stay legit, that there's no funkiness, there's no growth habits that we don't like, there's no
funky flowers. Okay.
no funkiness at all. And then once we've watched them long enough and we realize it's something that's not on the market or it's something better than what's on the market, that's when we introduce them and get to have the fun of naming them.
And now this is the cool thing here, folks. We're gonna pop this over to the side because we actually have several different varieties that are debuting right now. Look at the size of this flower. I mean, this at this point I think it goes from flower to weapon. This is like weaponized dahlias. I could actually club somebody with this. I mean, look at this thing. It's like bamboo or something. That's as thick. So what is this giant beautiful flower named?
Well, we figured it needed something outstanding, so we went OMG.
I like it. I think that works.
With all the texting and our technology world, it's time to go with the short. So it's OMG.
Look at that thing, folks. That is, I mean, if that's just not like one of the coolest flowers ever, then you are a jaded person and I don't want to be your friend. That is just incredible. So this is new this year. I mean, you guys have been working it for a little while, but it's just unveiled to the public this year.
Yep, it'll be for sale. Starting this season. August 1st is when we become available to order for next season delivery. So yes, it is available now to order.
Good Lord, something like this you sell by the pound?
I know, it's huge.
Then you can cut this off and make a little flute out of it later.
Yes, exactly.
So what are some other new ones?
So we always get requests to name after people or family members and things, and we just can't meet everybody's requirements. So we just pretty much stay within the family, but we have a really good time. Sometimes it's really hard, but we have a really good time naming. So in this case, we decided to name it in memory of.
Okay.
So for all those people that need something in their yard to remember that special person or special animal or something, we named it, kind of left it with an open. It's in memory of. So kind of a little, little special hint there.
And again, I mean, still a good size. So, I mean, I don't know if anything's going to compel, size this, but still a beautiful size. Kind of nice little light yellowness there to that.
And the big ones are the hardest to get. That's what we see the fewest because the bees have the hardest time pollinating between the big guys.
Well, they get tired with that thing. I mean, look at that. It's a workout.
So the big ones are hard. So when we get amazing big guys, we're thrilled.
Yeah, I can
it's
imagine.
Really special on our end. So this little guy is going to be called Flamingo.
Okay.
We kind of decided
a good name again,
she fit
pink.
The color spectrum.
Yeah.
This is Spoiled Rotten. Obviously, we have kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or we've seen it.
I know a lot of our listeners are like, "Hey, it's my kids."
That's right. This one's gonna be Peach Fuzz.
Oh, cool.
So we just
a little spiky guy.
Yeah, a little fuzziness to it. This one is one of my nephews had a flower named after him, and the quality of the plant went down, so we've discontinued his variety. So it was time this time to give him something new.
Yeah.
He's in high school. He's old enough. He wanted another one. So he has a nickname, Matty Boo. His name is Matt. And so Matty Boo is what it's going to be.
These kinds are actually like my favorite. As much as I love these big flowers, they're kind of like the pom-pom looking ones.
Yeah.
I love that. It's just such a cool type of flower. And just, I mean, it just, you can't even put it into words. I mean, it's almost like a pillow or something. It's just this big, giant, firm, beautiful flower that somehow, it's gorgeous, but it feels strong too.
Yeah, it's very firm.
That made no sense. Trust me, in my head it makes sense, folks.
And this beauty doesn't have a name yet.
No name.
So we are working on naming it. Bob, yeah? Well,
Okay.
you never know.
I name everything Bob.
Sounds just like my kids. So we're going to work on this. This is probably in the next day or so we'll have a name on it.
So we talked about this a little bit, and you are taking suggestions.
We'll always take suggestions.
So I can't guarantee they're going to use it. So no Dahlia McDahliaface, folks. I know the internet loves to do that. But if you've got a good idea for this flower here, Molly, zoom in so everybody gets all kind of inspiration. If you've got an idea on what to name this dahlia, add it in the comments, either here on Facebook or on our blog, and we will submit those all to you guys.
Yeah.
And you can look at them, laugh, say that was terrible, but that one might actually work.
Yeah.
One of you guys could have your name forever on this big, beautiful pink dahlia. And you can't name it that either, because that's what I'm going to say. Big, beautiful pink dahlia. That probably wasn't fit on the sign.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Or when we stamp the tubers.
Oh, yeah, that would be difficult. Yeah, that's like $50 stamp right there.
There you go.
So if you've always wanted to have your chance at naming a flower, here's your chance. This big, beautiful pink dahlia is up for grabs. And you guys can actually buy them this year too, right?
Yep, it'll be for sale. Once we name it, it will be for sale on our website or here at the farm to purchase tubers up for next spring delivery.
How cool would that be to have your own flower? I mean, just seriously think about that. Hey, everybody, buy my flower. Like
Yeah.
I got to get creative and come up with something. Well, I wanted to show the fields a little bit too, because I mean, obviously this is that is part of the experience. It's not just the educational sessions and the food and the music that you have for the festival, But these fields, you've got like what, 40 acres?
Almost 40 acres.
Almost 40 acres of seemingly endless variety of colors, of size. It is just such a trip to come out here and see all this. You must just, I mean, wake up. I get to go to work today.
Yeah, I do. It's absolutely, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's like you're in heaven out here of what Mother Nature gives us, the color, the looks, the shapes, the sizes. Absolutely, we're spoiled to be out here. So that's spoiled rotten. I feel like that every day.
Right? Yeah, it's probably the perfect name. So if you had to pick, I love putting people on the spot like this. If you had to pick, what would be your favorite dahlia? Which probably changes from year to year, but
it
so
does
right
change
now.
From year to year. Right now, I think because of the popularity and the want and the need, and the more I've had to work with it, is a flower called Cafe au lait.
Okay,
and
I
if
remember
you
seeing
just
that one
search
in
the
sun,
website or search the web, you will find it. It's probably the one that's most sought after. The only downside is it's not a heavy producer. It's these absolutely gorgeous, anywhere from kind of a soft latte peach to a pink, and the same plant will give you both colors. It kind of shifts with its mood, and it's absolutely gorgeous, but it's hard to come by. It's very sought after. So I have lots of favorites for different reasons.
Yeah, right. I mean, again, what, more than 300 varieties? It's kind of hard to pick a favorite out of all that.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's too many to choose from.
And I know as I walk up and down the fields, I'm like, oh, there's my new favorite. Oh, wait, nope, that one. And so I ended up buying 8 last year. My yard has all these different ones because it's just, it's that hard to find a favorite. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, you guys are creating all these new ones, so you've got these ones here, you're already working on new stuff.
Yep, there's already 4th years, 3rd years, 2nd years, and 1st years. So
wow.
We plant 15,000 seed, which would be 1st years.
Wow.
And then we downsize that to probably 500 or so, and then it goes down to 100, down to 50, down to 25, and then we pick the 10 or so that we're going to introduce. And the rest are junk. I mean, in the sense that we throw the tubers away, we don't keep them. They might be absolutely gorgeous, but we might already have something on the market that's similar. Maybe it's just not perfect form. Maybe there's so many different reasons that we don't introduce them. But sometimes it's really hard because we had one that we actually were going to introduce this year, and it was too close to something we already have. Even though it looks a little different, the color it's one of those really unique colors, and we decided it's just too close to something we already have.
So how does somebody find you guys? How do they get here? How do they find you online and so forth?
So we're in Canby. That's the biggest thing. I think most people think that we're out on Swan Island in Portland, so for locals it's a little challenging.
Yeah.
But in Canby, we are off of Holly, which is out, if you're familiar with Canby Ferry, we're out in that direction. Kind of between 205 or 9090 and I-5. It's easy to find.
So if you're coming out to Canby, if you're coming out for the Clackamas County Fair, which is going on now as well, you are already in the neighborhood, so check out Swan Island Dahlias. But the festival itself, again, starts next week, so we've got next weekend.
26, 27, 28.
And then Labor Day weekend.
Yep, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
So 2 weekends, you've got all kinds of fun stuff happening at the festival.
Definitely a lot of fun things. Biggest thing to see is over 400 floral arrangements, 15,000 blooms indoors in our display room. So that, if you can come anytime, make sure you make it to the festival and see those. Those are absolutely amazing. We reset it in between the shows, so it's all fresh both weekends. And then there's wine, beer, food, live music 12 to 4, fields to view, lots of happenings. Come out, yes. I think it's glorious.
And if you want to bring any of this beauty home, head over to the website. You guys have different varieties for sale on the website.
We do.
And I mean, this is an amazing fact. It blew my mind. How many flowers are you sending out a week?
So on average, we ship out or pick up or deliver 60,000 blooms a week.
60,000 blooms a week, folks. And they're all grown here.
Yes.
It's just mind-blowing just to think of that kind of production. It's absolutely amazing. You can see it for yourself. Coming out to Swan Island Dahlias. We're on Holly Lane in Canby.
Off Holly.
Off
on
Holly
22nd.
Lane, on 22nd, off of Holly. Holly and 22nd. You know what? It's a big giant field of like 40 acres of flowers. It's kind of hard to miss. But you'll have a great time. Beautiful flowers. Learn how to make your own arrangements. Learn how to take care of them. Because I had to learn how to take care of them. I figured out that you don't just let the flower rot. You actually have to cut it off and everything. It looks a lot better. I get more flowers that way. You can learn all that stuff, plus great music, live music, great food, beautiful flowers. It's a great time in Canby. Come join us at the Swan Island Dahlia Festival, happening the last weekend in August, the first week in September. We'll see you out here. Can't wait for you to join us, and see you next time. Thanks for joining us on Mountain Territory Live. We'll see you next week.